Are you ready? Are you ready? You better be ready. You better be ready, because this could be an all-kill on our hands right here. Last map, potentially, is going to be Ohana right now. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it is. We have discovered quite the talent here in this particular event. Let's see if he can go all the way. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ohana. The ace, as you might think, is once again Lucifron. He is in the blue trunks and he is playing Terran to the northwest, who has the daunting task of taking down this man right here, who has currently 4-killed his team. He is in the red trunks playing Zerg to the southeast. It is Mousesports' Hope. Well, apparently nobody gave the memo to Hope that Zerg is supposed to be underpowered in this expansion, because he is powered through all 3 races, and he is not showing any signs of stopping. Now, the question is, what does Lucifron do? Does Lucifron revert back to his classic build? Does he go back to the Hellbat drops? Is that what he looks to shoot for? Will it help, even? Hope, what are you doing? What are you doing, Hope? What the hell is this? This is a really early gas before pool. A really early gas before pool. I have not seen that for ages. This used to happen more than you might think, gas before pool, but this, not so much, not anymore. I have a feeling that Lucifron is about to get all in a pretty big way. It's not, it doesn't necessarily mean aggression. Like, maybe you can read it and say, oh, he's getting gas, it means he wants to be aggressive. What it can mean is super early tech. Really early tech. It delays your economy quite significantly. Maybe Hope just goes for a 1 or 2 base all-in here, which might be a good way to finally deal with Lucifron. That's probably a good way to finish it out. And even if this fails, it doesn't make that much of a difference, because Mousesports has like 5,000 other players they can send out. So they could send Mana out, they can send Hero Marine out in a TBT, which I wouldn't recommend, considering Lucifron just slaughtered Korean Terrans the last time he got a chance to play against them. So maybe not in a TBT, but you've got a lot of options. Okay, let's see what this is. So this basically was used for really early speed, super early speed. And he's not mining from it anymore. So I guess that's all you can really read into it. It could have been some kind of crazy all-in, could have been something along those lines, but no, just really early speed. This is very old school. So many Zergs don't do this. And the reason is they just prefer to get hatches, they prefer to rely on queens, and they prefer to power drones. This is going to be really surprising, I feel, for Lucifron. Reaper's going to make his way in here. There is already a queen on the field, and that queen is going to beat that Reaper. The problem with the Reaper is that it can come back, and it can keep sort of picking at the queen, but Lucifron's actually leaving with that already. 4 lings coming across the map now. There is, of course, a wall off. I would imagine what he wants to do here with these lings is to try and deny that expansion. The Reaper does see it, however, so those lings are going to die eventually. Probably sooner rather than later. I doubt he's going to be able to take that SCV out. He might be able to. I mean, I'd be kind of surprised if he did. That actually delays the expansion quite nicely. So, oh, if he takes that SCV, that'll be huge. But no, those Reapers will easily take that out. A little bit of a delay, though, so I guess as a move, that's pretty good. 8 more lings coming out here, and they're going to have speed this time around. This could surprise Lucifron quite a lot. What information did Lucifron get? The funny thing is, Lucifron didn't see the gas. He didn't see the timing of it. He didn't see the pool researching anything. So he doesn't actually know that he is about to go up against very early speedlings. Now, I don't know what he can necessarily do against it, but I think this might be an interesting counter to this 2 Reaper opening. Because what we noticed last time Lucifron did this was he's actually pretty weak early game to some potential aggression. But when you go with the standard Zerg build where you delay speed and you go queen heavy, you can't actually do that. The thing about 2 Reapers is, against 10 speedlings, they're not actually going to do anything. Now, the question, I suppose, is what does Hope do? If he can just deny mining for ages, then he's in a great position. Obviously, Lucifron will be able to micro with this bunker, so the follow-up, it looks like, is going to be roaches here, which I like very much. And what Hope is going to do is he is going to stop this 3cc powerhouse build from Lucifron, and he's going to do it with speedlings. He's going to damage the command center. He is going to stop mining for as long as he possibly can. He's going to leave now because of these 2 Hellions, but that has already effectively delayed mining. I mean, the income is now coming back up for Lucifron, as you can see, but it was low. I mean, he wasn't mining from his natural. That build is supposed to secure the natural expansion, and it didn't. And with these speedlings on the map, the Hellions aren't going to do anything either. 10 more speedlings coming out, and the roaches on the way as well. 5 roaches being produced. Really aggressive 2-base play coming out here from Hope, and Lucifron is being caught off a little bit by it. Not a huge amount. I mean, he hasn't lost that many workers, but it's the mining time that's the big deal. Hope seems to have found a weakness in the early game of Lucifron and is looking to exploit it. Reinforcement's going to get cut off here. If Lucifron has great control, and he does, then he is going to deal with these speedlings quite handily. But once the roaches come on the field, it's like, what the hell are you going to do? Right now, Hope is just kind of fending them off as best he can, but he is losing a lot of lings, and he's probably going to lose them all by the looks of it. And Lucifron's control allows him to do that without a single Hellion. But you know what's really interesting? These roaches are not going to get spotted until they actually hit the Selnaga Tower, because the Hellions are actually kept away from the roaches. There aren't that many of them, but there's probably enough to bust through here. It's 6 Hellions, 2 Marines. Lucifron, again, has to pull workers to try and keep this bunker alive. And these roaches are going to hit. He gets a free supply depot here. Whatever he does, he gets a free supply depot, which is actually going to be a supply block. But he's going to go straight for this bunker, and he's just going to kill as many of these workers, I think, as he can. The problem is he's not really getting all that many of them. Widowmine goes off, and actually, I think, kills more workers than it does roaches, and that finally gets cleaned up. Only 4 workers killed, so I don't know if that attack really worked as well as you would hope. The second wave is going to hit much, much harder, but if Lucifron is able to continue to defend and start to get his upgrades rolling, then he's going to be in a good spot. But he is still in this position where he can do nothing but defend. Widowmine is being borrowed. It actually isn't ready yet, though, and this is actually a big deal. Lucifron is going to defend with Hellions and Marines in just that one bunker. The Lings get in there. The Roaches try and smash their way through. Another Widowmine shot goes off here, and Hope is actually left without many units at all, and once again, Lucifron holds with a loss of no workers. That was a big deal. Now we can safely say Lucifron is ahead. That second attack failed. Very all-in-ish behavior here from Hope, and now he has to revert to building drones. Lucifron's in a great position. It was an interesting build. I feel it was nicely designed to beat Lucifron's early game, but it didn't work. It straight up did not work. So now Lucifron is in a good spot. He can do whatever he wants. He is getting a starport up. He's got that 3rd command center, so even if the workers were killed, he could very easily replenish them. His opponent is behind in workers and is going to be behind in bases very soon. And his opponent only has roaches as well. He did go lair, so that's nice, but he has no upgrades at all, whereas his opponent's going for double ups. So the roaches will be reasonably effective for a while, but once he starts going up against this big Bioforce with 1-1 and then 2-2, he's going to be in trouble. A Nidus play from Hope. All right, and that'll work as well because this Overlord's in a great spot. Okay, so he realizes that the first all-in didn't work, so his second all-in is going to be Speed Roach Nidus, which he is very desperately hoping does not get scouted. Scan goes down, and it misses the Nidus. That's kind of a big deal. He does see the speed going down, but he... Oh, second scan! He sees the Nidus worm. He's like, what's going on here? All right, this is a big deal. Hope now is having to try and rely on a Nidus, which is obviously not going to work that well because his opponent is now aware of its presence. The Armory doesn't actually see the Overlord. It doesn't mean that he's going to be able to stop the Nidus worm, but the fact of the matter is he knows it's there. So we will keep an eye out for this Nidus. There are 2 possible positions for it. There's this one right here. This has been seen, and then there's this one which hasn't. The risk is, of course, that... Oh, nice block there by Hope. The risk is that Lucifron believes it's coming from here and not coming from here, and then he might not be able to respond quickly enough. The engagement comes in right there. Will the Nidus Worm actually go down? That's a lot of Widowmines that nicely, efficiently engaged, but there's so many Marauders here that I don't think this is going to do anything. Smashed back very nicely. Lucifron is so ahead now. And it's interesting that he didn't use his Nidus Worm. If he had, he actually might have done something. I feel that... I don't think these would have got up there in time. I don't know how quickly he would have noticed, but I think a Nidus here would have done some obscene damage. And he just tried to attack the front again. So Hope is kind of throwing this away, I'm afraid. Lucifron is doubling his supply right now. And if Hope just keeps attacking the front, he's going to fail. 1-1 is already done. He's maybe got like one last all-in him that he'll be able to use, which will involve an attack at the front. He's going to trigger a couple of Widowmines. Nice. One last attack at the front with a Nidus behind. Backstab might work. Maybe. But he is so far behind at this stage. He's going to have to do some serious damage to his opponent to catch up here. And these repeated attacks on the front are just not doing it. He managed to delay the orbital going down for a while, which is nice. He's also building his Mutalisks. Is he even going to use this Nidus? Oh, did he cancel the Nidus? Oh, well, that would explain a lot. I guess he cancelled it as soon as it got scanned. Okay, fair enough. I was going to say, why is the Nidus Worm not going down? All right. Yeah, he transitioned into Mutalisk play instead. There we go. That makes much, much more sense. But Mutalisk play, really, against 1-1 Marines. This is going to be difficult. At least it stops the drops from going down, but again, I'm not convinced. I don't think he's going to get very far with this. He's going to have to get some amazing Mutalisk backstabs and do a lot of damage. At least Lucifron hasn't got any ground static defense, which is always good. That Mutalisk is... What is he doing? What is he doing? Oh, Hope! No. Those are Marine... No, Hope! No, 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 no. Don't do... Get away from him! Oh, man. Yeah, I don't see this doing much. Lucifron is in a position now to just stomp all over Hope's face. He really is. I see what he was trying to do, but I think Hope would have just been better playing standard straight up because he is a really powerful late-game player. He obviously knows what he's doing. This gimmicky play from him just clearly is not what he's used to, and it didn't work out. So Lucifron is in a good position to start the momentum back. Here comes the drop. Lucifron going in, and he's going to deny mining here, and he's probably going to take a queen out and kill a whole bunch of other stuff as well. We've got Hope desperately trying to hold on. Gets us around, kills that stuff eventually, but again, workers... Well, actually, workers weren't really killed there, but mining time was lost. Queen was killed. He's down to 1 queen on 3 hatches, which means he's not even producing units at a good speed. He's going to be floating minerals as a direct result of that. He's actually not even building queens. I think he's probably just going to go for one last desperate attack, which is unequivocally going to fail. There is no question. He is going up against 2-2 Bio. It is safe to say, I feel, I love to try and hype games to the last, but at the end of the day, Lucifron just completely crushed him. And it was mostly Hope's fault. I'm not going to take anything away from Lucifron there. He defended very well, but Hope's attacks just simply did not work. I see what he was going for, but it didn't do the job. And Lucifron's now going to kill the 3rd base, deploying a bunch of mines here, unless these mines actually kill all of Lucifron's army, which would actually be kind of hilarious. There's the GG. Yeah, no question about that. Lucifron dominates that matchup. No all kill for you, Hope, I'm afraid, but that's still a long mountain to... A long mountain? What? Yeah, it's a long and a tall mountain to climb here for Lucifron. He's the last one for the team, and let's be honest, Mousesports has a lot of possibilities here. He still has to win 2 maps to even it up. They've still got mana. They still have Hero Marine. They also still have a couple of other players. We'll see who's... I mean, do they send out mana to just finish it up, knowing that they can then use mana in the ace match later? It wouldn't surprise me in any way. I think Mana's the best choice here. We'll see whether or not Mousesports decides to send him out. We'll find out after this break. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the next matchup? We are going to be seeing a TBT right here. Looks like the Mousesports do not want to bring out their ace just yet. Well, let's see if this was a good idea. We will find out very shortly. We are going into this map. It's going to be Kesper Neoplanet S. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to bring you Mousesports Hero Marine. He is in the red trunks and he is playing Terran to the southwest of Kesper Neoplanet S. Versus his opponent, it is Karont3's Lucifron, who saves them from being all killed by... Oh god, I mean, it's basically just being all killed in general by Mousesports Hope. So there you go. Well, okay. TBT. Well, the thing about TBT is that Lucifron is amazing at it. And what we saw from him against Quantic was he killed Apocalypse and Center, which was kind of ridiculous. I mean, it was mind-boggling. He did such a good job. The thing about Hero Marine, which is why this may be a good choice in this matchup, is Hero Marine is a very all-in-ish kind of player. Like, his style mixes a lot of all-ins into play. He's not the kind of person that wouldn't pull SCVs and go for an all-in attack. Might be what you need. Maybe that's the kind of sniper position you want to be in. Is Hero Marine up to Lucifron's standards in terms of his results? No, he's not. Right? He's nowhere near as proven. But this is a team league, and that doesn't actually mean a damn thing. So we will see. Gas is coming down a bit earlier for Hero Marine. We're going to see a 15 gas here for Lucifron. Seeing a lot of Terrans going for this lately. If you want to be the more defensive player, 15 gas is absolutely fine. This can also mean that you want to go into that reacted Marine build. You want to build a couple of Marines, get that reactor down, get your expansion, but it can mean a lot of different things. But the earlier gas here from Hero Marine indicates, of course, he wants to tech a little bit quicker than his opponent. This could mean that he wants to start off with a Reaper, which is fine. That can do reasonably well. Doesn't do as well as getting some Marines as it used to, unfortunately. Could also mean, of course, that you want to get a very early factory out, and then what do you do with that? There's a lot of possibilities, but what I will say is that one of the prevalent builds in this matchup right now is Hellbat Drop, and it's very, very good at what it does. So if Hero Marine is trying to get the earlier Hellbats out, there's the factory coming down for him, then that might work out. But bear in mind that Lucifron is the master of the Hellbat Drop. I suppose the question is, can he actually defend it? There you go. As I said, this leads often into the reacted barracks build. It means you get a couple of Marines out, you then get your 50 gas slightly later. I mean, why do you need it earlier? You really don't. Once you know that your opponent's not building Reapers, you can put down that reactor safely. You can lock your Marines out of your base unintentionally, and then you can put your command center down. In this case, however, Hero Marine is not expanding yet. He is looking to. You can look at his money. It's getting pretty high. There's going to be a swap over momentarily, which of course will cost 200 gas, but the CC is going to go down. 200 gas? What? No. 200 minerals. I'm talking up my arse. He may, of course, build Widow Mines here. That might work if he wants to play a little bit more defensively. You can't really get that aggressive with him at this stage, although you can be annoying and try and deny the expansion, but it's a little bit too much of an investment. Against Terran, Terran can just scan and eliminate the Widow Mines quite easily, so it's not too big a deal. Lucifron's completed his reactor, which means he's going to be pumping out Marines 2 at a time, which is always nice. What this does mean, interestingly enough, is that it does delay the actual tech, and I have actually seen this used to transition into mech, but since he hasn't got a second gas, that's not that likely. He's now going to build that barracks. I imagine he's actually going to now use the barracks to pop down. I was thinking he may use it to put the reactor down here, but he's not going to do that. Hellion's coming out. So, you know, maybe we do see a mech build, but again, still on one gas, it's fairly unlikely. You can't do a lot with that. Here comes the armory for Hero Marine. So, almost certainly going to be Hellbats. There is no other reason to build an armory at this stage when you don't have an engineering bay. So, we're going to be seeing a Hellbat drop. A couple of Widow Mines have been deployed. Does he mix them together? Probably not. The thing about Hellbats is that they do take 4 cargo capacity. So you can only fit 2 of them in a medevac, which means that if you want to take Widow Mines, you can only put 1. And 1 Hellbat is not that great. 2 Hellbats are pretty cool. 4 Hellbats, even better. But if you do that, you end up delaying the medevacs. So there's going to be some initial Hellions coming in. And there's a couple of ways you can play this. Barracks comes in, and Lucifron it clearly knows what's coming at him now. Since he's seen the barracks floating over to scout at it, he knows that he must be up against the Hellbat drop. So there's a couple of ways to play this. What you can try and do is send your Hellions into the natural while you Hellbat drop the main, which is pretty nasty. You can try and do a run-by with your Hellions into the main as well. But in this case, the actual Hellion count is in favor of Lucifron. And a good counter to Hellion is, of course, Hellion. Wouldn't mind sitting there. Lucifron probably is aware of the possibility of it. If he gets hit by this in a big way, that's going to hurt him a lot. We'll take out at least one Hellion and do a lot of splash damage as well. Economically, they're both pretty even right now. Hero Marine did manage to get his CC down. He did delay this one very slightly, although not by much. And that gives Lucifron that very, very slight lead. Here comes that engagement. The Widowmine got scanned and eliminated by the looks of it. And now he's actually made his way right in here. Hellbats are now in play, but this is actually a messy position to be in. I like the use of this Viking to drive that medevac back, and he almost lost it there, but look at how much damage has already been done. Oh no! It's a gift basket! Ah, that was intended for someone else entirely. You got the wrong address. It's terrible. It's a lot of damage. That's 9 SCVs killed and workers as well. This is looking ugly. Off goes Widowmine's shot, which is always nice to see, but Hero Marine might have wanted to get aggressive here, but Lucifron actually got aggressive before him. Hellbat drop is coming in. Is he going to actually place it? He's going to drop the Hellbats directly on top of the Hellions. Of course, they're going to move in almost immediately, and the reinforcements come in as well here. Lucifron can just win right now. This is insane. Great defense here. Great offense here by Lucifron. I guess that is the best defense. And Hero Marine is getting bled dry, and he is in a horrible spot right now. This clearly didn't work. I guess that's what you get for using Lucifron's build against Lucifron. He was obviously aware of what it was. Moving the barracks over there gave him a clear indication, and I think this is probably going to be a win for Lucifron at this stage. 21 to 36. Down goes the wall, and the Marines and Hellions make their way in there. A couple of Hellbats come out, so a little bit of nice, tricky micro here by Hero Marine, and he is going to defend it, but at what cost? He lost a lot of stuff. Hellbat drop will finish that off, but oh man, there's more Hellions coming in. He's not done. Lucifron is going for it again, and he's actually going to kite the Hellbats, which you can do. Bear in mind, Hellbats are light units. And they're pretty slow, too. Lucifron is actually evading the Hellbat drops. Like, come back here! God damn it. Stop the pigeon. That's not going to happen, I'm afraid. But Hero Marine is so far behind in his economy right now. Lucifron just keeps hitting him with... He's getting his own Hellbats out here as well. I don't see a situation where he stays alive. Unless this Hellbat drop does an obscene amount of damage. It's already been spotted. Lucifron would have to be very amiss to ignore this. And I don't even think it matters. Lucifron is just powering forward here. More Hellbats are coming out to try and deal with these Hellions. They're doing it one at a time. Hellbat drop comes in and is eliminated by counter Hellbats. There's a pickup here by Hero Marine. He actually hasn't lost any Hellbats yet, but there is a Viking in play. That was a good drop. Can he follow it up? He can't quite. And he loses a Hellbat in the air as well. Not ideal. He tried his best to make that work, but he didn't do enough damage. And right now, Lucifron is killing Hellbats with Vikings. I don't even know what's going on at this stage. Oh, man. Hellions are just roasting everything. Hero Marine is so far down in supply that I don't see a way out of this, especially not in a TVT. You can't be this far behind and still win a TVT. There's nothing that Hero Marine really has to do it. Brings his Viking down, finally cleans up the aggression, but Lucifron is in a position to do whatever he wants now. And this is going to be very difficult. Very difficult indeed. Hero Marine manages to save that Viking only just as Lucifron's makes its way over. The cool thing about Vikings in this particular matchup is that, oh, there's no Marines, I can do whatever I want. If I get S superiority, it's just great. Lucifron, of course, going to lose that Viking. Nice bit of repairing there from Hero Marine. We've got Hellions now moving into position. Lots of them, and Hellbats as well, just to batter down this front. That'll probably just kill the Orbital Commando, or at least force it to lift. Oh, there's Mule's going to get caught out as well if he's not careful. Moving the Hellbats into a defensive position. Lucifron is going to lose the Viking war, as you can see here, but he's got a lot of Hellbats on the ground, so I don't think he really... Oh, never mind. Mutually assured destruction. Here he goes, going for the engagement right now, and it's Hellbat versus Hellbat in a battle to the death, which Lucifron will win, and there are only 2 Hellbats left on the field here for Hero Marine. He's going to try and drop them. The defense is already in position, and there's the GG. Lucifron slaps that down completely and says, "What do you got for me next?" "Not in my house." Lucifron looking nice right now, looking to try and get his team back on the board. He is doing it very nicely indeed. 4-3 now. Who do they send out next? It's got to be Mana. Surely you send out Mana at this stage, then you send out Mana again as the ace. What else would you do? We'll find out very shortly, folks. Don't go anywhere.